Hey, broker community, we are back. I'm Katie Sweeney, EVP of Strategy here at AIME. We are here with another weekly sales meeting. We know that time is of the essence, really all the time these days with the current market environment, but especially around the holidays. So we're going to keep things short and sweet today, get you in and out of the sales meeting as fast as possible so you can get back to working on your business. And that is the theme of the day. We're talking about how to maximize your time. We've talked in the past around really evaluating what your business process is. Where's the friction point? Where can you improve your current process? But what we haven't talked about is making sure that the things that you're focusing your time on are the things that are going to actually yield something positive in return. It doesn't have to be money. It could be time back. It could be an experience. It could be building a relationship. But your time should be spent doing things that are creating value for your business. They should not be spent on the monotonous things that can either be outsourced or trained and given to somebody else on your team. You're the expert, you're the pro, you're the person that needs to be out there generating business, talking to the sales team, building a technology suite that's going to allow your entire business to operate more efficiently. You don't need to be doing follow-up that can be automated through a communication tool. You don't need to be continually asking consumers for reviews when you can automate that process. You also don't need to be taking care of things that you can train a loan officer assistant, a junior LOA, an admin. Find a college kid who can't go to class right now and hire an intern to come in and take over the things in the office that eat away at your time. Your time is incredibly valuable. You need to be spending it on things that are going to actually bring you something in return. Always. Remember, spend your time on the things that are going to generate value. Don't spend your time on the things that are distracting. It's very important, especially around the holidays. Everyone's busy. Really look at and evaluate where there's opportunity to improve your business process and where you can be investing time to get a yield in the long term. There's a return on investment, whether it's time, money, relationships. There is a value associated with where you spend your time and your effort. You need to make sure it's being spent on things that are going to benefit your business in the long term. MMI is a great tool that can help you do those things. We recently launched a new partnership in the Brokers Are Better network. If you are a data nerd like me and some of the other members of our team, you're going to absolutely love it. We've been using it for the last 6 months probably. We're so excited to finally bring it to the wholesale channel. This is the first time and the only place that you can get a single account for MMI. Everywhere else, it's only been offered as an enterprise level solution. So we're very excited that AIME is doing that, continually looking for enterprise level technology solutions that are available through our Brokers Are Better network. That is the core of what that network was founded on, and MMI is a great addition to that. We've got production data, realtor data. It's combining all of that information into a single place. It is a great way to find out what local lenders, the referral partners that you want to build relationships with, are working with. Who are they going to right now? Who's their go-to for different product types? It's got all of that information in there so you can do more targeted outreach, spending your time on things that are going to generate something in return and not on just the spray and pray communication style that probably isn't going to wind up building a realtor relationship for you. Check MMI out. You can find all of our partners on aimegroup.com/brokersarebetter network. You can also always email babnetwork@aimegroup.com if you want more information about any of our partners specifically. Yesterday was a huge day for MMI when we announced this launch. I'm sure we'll see just as much traffic today. If you have any questions, let us know. Lender spotlight for the week. We have a couple. First, HomePoint. You may have noticed they have rebranded. So as of this morning, they are now going to be known as HomePoint. They've got a new look, a new feel, new experience for all of their broker partners to engage with. That includes a full redesign of their broker portal, their partner portal called The Point. That has been completely redone. In the last couple of years, HomePoint has grown to become the third largest wholesale lender in the country. They are a great partner of AIME's. We have a lot of success with them. We see a lot of our brokers having success with them. Anybody out there still needs to get connected with those guys, let us know. Partnerships@aimegroup.com. Everyone is going to love the new look and feel, the vibe that HomePoint's working off of now. It's very easy, very clean, very sleek, very digital focused, really trying to bring their technology forward. It's an investment they've been making over the last year, and we are excited to announce that they are finally unveiling that for all of us to see today. More to come on that in 2021. I'm sure they've got a couple more tricks up their sleeves that I've heard some rumblings about that we'll see in the first half of next year. But for now, check out their new site and let us know if you need to get connected with HomePoint. I'm sure by now, many of y'all have heard UWM also rolled out a big initiative today. It is their Lock Plus 12 program. It applies to all purchase loans moving forward. So anything locked from today through March 31st, UWM is going to automatically give you an extra 12 days on your lock term. So if you lock it for 30 days, you're actually getting a 42-day lock. If you lock it for 22 days, you're actually getting a 34-day lock. They know that there are tons of factors that can make things challenging throughout the purchase process, the home buying process, particularly right now with volume levels where they are. Appraisals are really challenging to get scheduled. Title companies can be difficult. This is a huge deal. They're just going to automatically extend all of your locks from now through March 31st, the entire first quarter, for an extra 12 days to try and help combat that. So if you lock for 22 days, you're still getting all the conquest pricing and all the benefits of that, but you're actually getting a 34-day lock. So take advantage of that. Today, moving forward, it does not apply to loans that are already locked, but it does apply to loans that you lock from today through March 31st. Lock Plus 12, another great program from UWM, constantly thinking about how they can make the process easier and simpler for all of their broker partners out there. The BAB network spotlight for this week is Ogvo. We just talked about bringing MMI into the fold as an enterprise solution that's available. Ogvo is another one of those. It is all of your review management. You completely own all of the data that's being captured through their platform. They run on a monthly subscription process. They automatically request reviews from your consumers, allow you to review those. They let consumers share them to either Google or Facebook, so it doesn't matter where you've invested in building your brand or both. If you have both of those set up, which you should, Ogvo is going to automate all of that, so you're not constantly having to follow up and reach out to the consumer directly, but they're going to do all of that for you. And they're going to allow you to see if somebody didn't have a great experience before it goes live on an external platform, giving you a chance to follow up, clear the air, try and fix whatever didn't go well with a customer. Hopefully, none of us are experiencing that. We're all getting 4- and 5-star reviews across the board. Ogvo is a great tool. They make it very easy. The key here being you own the information that's coming in. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to you as the owner of the platform, as the user of the platform. So definitely make sure to check Ogvo out if you haven't yet. It's what we use at AIME to capture all of our reviews. We love them. It's super easy. Bree can tell you all about it. If you have any questions, definitely tag her. She's in there looking at things all the time. It's a great tool and another way to make sure that you're not spending time following up with customers, but spending your time working on things that are going to actually generate revenue for you. Tomorrow, I'm so excited. We have Barry Habib. He is back. He has not been on a Facebook Live with us for a couple of months. He's coming back tomorrow with me. We're going to be talking about post-election market predictions. It was a crazy election season. It still is a crazy election season in certain areas of the country. There's a lot of contention going around, but we're finally able to start making some predictions about what the market is going to look like in 2021. If you know anything about Barry, and you all do, you know that he wins these mirror ball award. These future telling awards all the time, right? The name, of course, has slipped my mind, but he always talks about what to expect in the following year, what you can see, and he wins awards for accuracy every year. So we're very excited to see what he has to say, what the market's going to look like, not just in the near term in the next 90 days, but really getting into next summer, purchase season. We've talked some recently about how we see rates going up a little bit, refis not being quite as available as they are right now, really shifting our focus back to a purchase market. So Barry's going to be on tomorrow with me talking about all of that. He is going to be in the Brokers Are Better Facebook group live at 4 p.m. Eastern. So come watch, leave comments. If you have any questions that you want Barry to cover, post them in the comments right here. I will take them into our conversation tomorrow and make sure that we address all of the big topics of conversation that everybody is curious about. That is all I have for y'all today from Philadelphia. Rene, let's go.
Thanks, everyone. All right, so we are approaching the final weeks before Christmas and the holiday season. These are interesting times. Number one, we're getting close to the final ending of what could be considered one of the toughest years in history, at least from our perspective. And I'm sure there's other people in other eras that would argue against that. But for us, this has been an interesting year. For a lot of us watching here, this also might have been the best year that we've had in our entire lives. And so wherever we find ourselves in that battle, I think that we have to really be mindful of how we decide to frame this year up for ourselves, how we decide to frame how things came down, because the way we explained life The way we explain experiences to ourselves is really what determines how we, in essence, feel about it and the way it's etched in our history. If you have kids, the way that you talk about 2020 and what's going on in the history and everything that's happening is going to etch in their minds of how they determine and explain even to themselves about what's happening. Are you creating a victim story, or is this something that's a story of triumph? Wherever you find yourself, I want you to pay attention. And so this week's message is really about maximizing time, money, and relationships. And really, for me, the one that I want to focus on, or two that I want to focus on, are time and relationships. If you've done what we've asked you to do in the previous sessions where we track your referral partners, you should know right now which one of the referral partners, are the ones that are giving you the most business, the ones that are most valuable to your relationship, the ones that are, in essence, worth the time that you spend with. You should also know the ones that you are spending a lot of time with that haven't yielded the return. If you haven't tracked that information, if that is sort of a new idea for you, then I want you to consider making that a goal for 2021, to create the systems to be able to track the people that you refer business and the people that refer business to you, so you can see how effective it is. Because the time is the only commodity that you can't get back. If you take a bad course, you watch a bad movie, you buy a product that doesn't work, you can return it and get that money back. But if you invest your time with someone, you invest your time in a certain way that doesn't return what you expected, you can't ask for that time back. And so as we start thinking about the holidays, we start saying, what is most important to us? Of course, our family, who we spend the holidays with, but take it from a business perspective. If you knew and you truly, truly understood the value of your time, and you knew who was returning the same value to you that you were investing in them, would you make different decisions of how you spend your time in 2021? And again, if you don't know the answer to that, I urge you, I beg and I plead, to make that a goal for this upcoming year, to have the systems in place to be able to do so. And so as we're thinking about how to maximize time, how to maximize our money, how to maximize these relationships, you really have to consider to yourself, what are your goals for this year? Because what I have come to find out is that with clear priorities, with clear vision of where we're going, decisions become real simple. When people are having a hard time making decisions, it's typically because they have no clarity or they lack the clarity of where they're headed. And so this is a great time to sit back, if you haven't done so already, and think about, what's your vision for 2021? Who do you want to be? What kind of production do you want to do? Who do you want to be around? What kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to take more vacations? What's your health look like? What does your wealth look like? What does your spiritual life look like? What is your emotional and intellectual knowledge gathering, personal development? You name it. This is the time to create that vision and set clarity with specific goals to be able to get there. And when you're clear about the why behind those, the action steps become pretty simple. And so we're approaching the end. This is sort of the time to really take inventory. Did you do the things that you wanted to do to be in the position that you are right now, or the position you wanted to be in? Or did you slack off and you're kind of facing the music of the reality of what could have been? I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, well, I'm having a great year, but not nearly as good as so many other people. And one, comparison can be that thief of joy, but sometimes comparison in that sense, it also gives us a reality check that maybe we didn't work as hard. Maybe we didn't put in the time, we didn't put in the effort because it was so easy. If you found that you started slacking off because business was coming easy, then you got to ask yourself why you're in this business. But those of you who really did push hard, those of you who served the families that needed to be served, I want to applaud you. And those of you who didn't, then I want to challenge you to ask yourself, what got in the way this year? Don't feel down. There's no value in shame. There's no value in putting yourself down. But I want you to challenge even yourself to say, what was it that got in my way? What was the thinking that got behind my decision making and my behavior to lead me down a path that didn't take me to the goals that I wanted to achieve? This is the time to do that. The time of holidays, the time of reflection, the time of planning for the future. Your business is going to be dependent on the plan that you set. The decisions you make should be guided by the plans that you set. And if you don't have a plan, well, I've got news for you. You're going to become part of someone else's plan. That was one of the great lessons that Jim Rohn gave you. He said, if you don't have a plan for your life, what happens? Guess what? You become part of someone else's plan. And then he said, well, you know what they have planned for you? The answer was, not much. So make sure that you're planning out this next year before the year starts. You don't wait for a storm to start to have an action plan. You want to have that plan in place prior to that storm starting. And so again, let's look at how do we maximize the relationships through the data that we've collected around who, not just emotionally feels right, but who from a data-driven standpoint has given us the most value. And how do we ensure that we're returning that same value to them? Do we even know what value looks like to them? If not, we got to start asking that question. So we take that behavior into 2021 to make it our best year yet. And so maximizing your relationships, maximizing your time. Are you spending it reading the books and learning that you need to for this year? Are you ready with the plan? Those are all the questions that you should be focusing on right now. Obviously serving the customers that you serve, but I'm going to challenge you again. Take the time right now to start planning for what next year looks like. If you haven't started, drop what you're doing, cancel plans this weekend, make that a priority. So I've been enjoying this weekly sales meeting. We know that we have some really, really exciting things planned for next year. So make sure you stay tuned every single week to hear something from us here at the weekly sales meeting. Back to you, Philly.
Thanks, Rene. Mark, unfortunately, could not join us today, but that's all right. Hopefully you got some great information from both Rene and myself. Remember, it's about working both hard and smart. You don't have to pick one over the other. You can work your ass off, but also make sure that you're doing it in an efficient way. Make sure that you're spending your time on the things that are going to actually benefit your business long-term. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow to the Live with Barry Habib. He's the Crystal Ball Award winner. It finally came to me. He's going to be talking about post-election market predictions with me, 4 p.m. Eastern on the Brokers Are Better Facebook group. Questions in the comments so that I make sure to ask him everything that you guys want to know. Otherwise, we will see all of y'all next Wednesday. Have a great week. Get out there.